Hello and welcome, fellow bookworms and film fans. Welcome to this week's episode of The Contented Narrative. It is a book review of this book called 13 by Steve Cavanagh. Now, honestly, the blurb just got me. Like, I was looking for books. This is before my birthday. I was looking for books. And I was just like, oh, I normally like browsing in Waterstones, but I couldn't find anything because obviously we're not allowed out. So I was sort of like browsing online, and it was the tagline: "The serial killer isn't on trial; he's on the jury." I mean, like, as taglines go for books, that one had me from the very first second. And do you know what? It is as good as the tagline is. This book, honestly, it from the very first moment I picked it up to the very first to when I put it down, I had this book done in a day. I really did. It was absolutely beautifully written, because what happens as well is it's so clever. And like, I'm sure you remember me saying with the Magpie Murders that I like trying to figure out who done it. And the entire way through the film, you're getting like hints that, oh, it's this person, it's this person, it's this person. You sit there going, oh yeah, no, it's definitely him. I don't understand how they don't know it's him. And then it's like, honestly, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to tell you who the serial killer is. But it's so genius, because the whole thing, I think, as a community, as a world, is like, we've become obsessed with serial killers. We have. There's so many documentaries out there. There's so many sort of like dramatizations. I'm pretty sure, I mean, me and Michael have watched so many over the last few, I mean, to be fair, what else has anyone else been doing over the last year or so? But we've watched a lot of information about serial killers. It's kind of sat me going there going, I mean, how do they not catch them? But this one is so brilliantly done. So basically, the premise of the book is that there's this guy, and he makes sure, and it's not just one city that he's done this in. He will kill people. He will leave evidence at the scene of the crime with the suspect's DNA, and then he will go to extraordinary lengths to end up on the jury, so that he can be there and he can make sure that this person will be convicted of the crimes, but also that there is no chance that he would get, like, that this person would get off. And it is shocking, because you think, you're literally just sitting there going, especially when you see it from the current person that's being accused, you see it from his point of view. And he's like, but I'm innocent and I didn't do it, so that should be enough. Like, I can't be proved guilty because I am innocent. I've not killed anyone. But it's just, I mean, honestly, it's a phenomenal book. It honestly is a phenomenal book. I mean, the fact that he's done this over so many states in America as well, where he'll kill someone, he'll leave the evidence with DNA, with the suspect's DNA, because he plans these things in advance, and then he'll stay for the jury. He'll get them convicted on the jury, and then he'll just wander off to the next state. And it's like, how can anyone get away with that? Because obviously, when you look at serial killers in today's environment, basically, with all the monitoring, with all, the computer systems, with the DNA, with the watchdog state, as a lot of people say, it is, I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, because I don't want to be that person that then tries to, like, someone watches this video and then sparks an idea that they want to be a serial killer. Please don't ever think that I'm saying please be a serial killer, like, but it's just the fact that it is very, like, it was a lot easier back in the day to become a serial killer than it necessarily might be in today's society. And the fact that that Steve Cavanagh looks into this idea that this is a serial killer who changes his MO, and this is why a lot of people get caught, is because they have the same MO. So this guy changes his MO, and he doesn't necessarily kill 3 people each time, but he'll kill someone. He'll set someone up for it. That person will go to prison. He'll then move on to the next person. And when you find out how many times he's done this, because the people that get convicted don't typically end up living out their life sentences. They end up dying in mysterious ways. So you've got to wonder, is he having a hand in their death as well? Or is it just pure coincidence that these people then kill themselves or, end up dying in strange ways? But it's just the whole way through the book, you are on edge. You are, because it is portrayed that this person is the serial killer, that this is the person you've got to be looking at. So you look at this person and you're expecting, the prosecutor or whatever to notice it. At one point as well, you've got someone who reads juries for a living to see how people are looking. And even he goes, oh, that person, smirked or whatever. And so you're like, oh, it's got to be him. It can't be anyone else. And it's just like the whole way through, you're on edge. You're on the edge of your seat going, this guy can't be convicted. This guy can't get off with it. And it has you to the point where you're sort of like almost nail biting. And I know I say this about a lot of books. And to be fair, I'm a bit of a I'm not gonna swear because I've not sworn on this channel, and I won't swear, but I'm a bit loose with my books, like a bit, I'm easily pleased sometimes. I mean, there are some that I read that I'm not a huge fan of. I try to do book reviews on this channel of books that I really enjoyed so that I can push this enjoyment onto other people, but I couldn't put it down. I honestly couldn't, and I read it in a day. And I genuinely sat there at the end and I was like, even though the book concluded, I wanted more. I wanted more because the chase and the suspense and everything just coiled up, and it was just perfect. The writing is absolutely superb. The characters, I cannot fault the characters, honestly. I love characters that have substance, that have backstories, that are basically, are well-rounded, but also I'm getting sick of the old sort of adage of, failing police officer is drunk, or dirty cop, or woman has to be really, really good at everything. No. And I know this is an unpopular opinion, and I know this isn't to do with a book review, but a point of this is I hate characters where they make the woman perfect at everything because they feel like that's what they need to do. And they don't need to do that. And they do that with Rey in Star Wars. And I dislike her character very, very much. I think it's called the Mary Jane effect, where she's just perfect at everything. Like, she doesn't train for anything. She just suddenly can do everything. And I get really annoyed when they have female characters like that in books. Like, if they've worked hard at a job and they're good at a job, that's fine. But if they suddenly turn around and go, oh, I fancy, I keep using Rey because she's the only one I can think of at the moment. Or she's like, I'm going to fly the Millennium Falcon with no training whatsoever and suddenly manage to do it all. Or I'm going to, and I'm trying not to go too nerdy because I know not a lot of people like Star Wars, but it's just, it annoys me and it takes me out of the character, and I feel like they don't really write female characters well. But the female characters that are in this are well-rounded and they got where they are because of who they are. And the male characters are good as well. They're not, typical stereotypes. The serial killer is just absolutely spot on, like absolutely perfect. And honestly, check this book out. Go and find this book, buy this book and read this book, and then let me know that you've read this book, and then, start a discussion with myself. But if there are any books out there that, as I've said before, if there are any books that you're reading because of this channel, please do let me know, because I'd love to know if I'm making any impression on anyone. Join the Facebook group, The Contented Narrative. Drop in your recommendations. Leave it below in the comments. Let me know what you guys want me to do. But as I've said before, I do film these in advance, so please bear in mind that if you drop in a comment about a adaptation you want to see or a book review you want done, it may not happen for a couple of months, so just bear that in mind. But thank you so much for everyone that has been watching this channel so far, and for everyone that's been supporting me. But remember to have a lovely weekend and to always keep it contento.